Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make a mock-up, t-shirt mock-up like this. In a previous video, I made this design using PlaceIt, and I'm going to be using PlaceIt to make the mock-up now. So I wanted to point out something quickly before we get started. I made a design just like this in the last video, and I forgot to mention something. Because this design is like a pocket, this would not be a good placement for this design. We would need to move it somewhere like around here and shrink it if you were going to sell this shirt on Merch by Amazon. Because on Merch by Amazon, you need to upload your design to be exactly the size and the placement that it would need to be when printed, because on their platform you cannot move things around like this. But I was making this design as if it was going to be printed by a company like Printful, where in their system you can move things around, you can resize things. So I just wanted to point that out. For anyone that's just getting started and they're using Merch, you need to make sure that your design is the correct size and the correct placement. So this will be as if this was going on someone's pocket. Now, if you're doing Merch by Amazon, you might not need mock-ups yet, but if you think about it, you can do social media, you can do Pinterest, you can do advertising, Instagram, things like that can help you to get more sales. Then that will be a good reason to start using some mock-ups, even though you can't put the mock-ups on your actual merch listings. Hopefully one day they'll let us have some better mock-ups instead of just the flat ones. But right now, that's what's available on Merch. But since I sell on my own websites, I sell on Etsy and other platforms besides Merch by Amazon, that's one reason why I really like to use this service, PlaceIt. It gives you so many choices. So we did a design in PlaceIt, and now we're going to do the mock-up. So to make a mock-up like this, you would go to PlaceIt and search for a t-shirt mock-up. You can choose one that has a model. You can choose one that's just the shirt. You can choose one like this, which is a transparent background. Depends on what you need and what you want. So if I was making a line, a brand or a line of shirts that were for men, I will make sure I'll find a male model. If it was for people that work out, I will make sure that the model looks like that. There's so many different kinds. They're adding more every day. You can come here and look for some tags that match whatever you're looking for. You can also come up here and search for whatever you're looking for. And I definitely say look around, because there's always something new. So let's say we want to have a female model and we want let's use this one, because we want the background to be able to be changed too. So if you want to change the background, some of them you can change the background, some of them you can't. This one we can, so we're going to do that. Say I want a background color like this, and I want my shirt to be black. I would just do that. It's very simple. Easy to use. Now I think, okay, actually our design has black, and the main part of the design is black, so we're going to use a white shirt instead. So if you change your mind, you just change the color. You can put your design here, so I'm going to drag it from my files right there, and then it will show up here. So instead of you having to do something like download a mock-up template and then go into Photoshop and put it on there, you can just drag it in here like you saw, and there it is. Okay, so here you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. Now since the one that I uploaded was it was not in the pocket location, and it was not in the pocket size. It was a big design, centered, let me see, like this. So if that's the kind of thing that you uploaded and then you wanted to do a pocket shirt, you would need to shrink it like that, or scale it and then move it, and then you can click crop to see what it's going to look like. You might have to adjust it, but it's all very, very easy. So let's see how that looks. You know, it's a lot simpler than anything else I've ever used. So this is really cool, and this also shows you why if you get the unlimited plan, it's a really good value, because you might want to have multiple mock-ups per design, multiple color shirts. So let's say if you made a listing for your Etsy shop and you wanted you wanted to show the design on a white shirt, you would download it. You would just click here, download. Or, well then, let's say you also want to have a pink shirt. You would change that and then hit download. Now, in this case, I will most likely get a different mock-up for the pink version because you want it to kind of look real. So you don't want to show the exact same model and the exact same pose with a different color shirt, because you know your customers on Etsy or on your Shopify site, wherever you're selling, they don't know that you're using mock-ups. So you don't want to have this exact same one in the same listing with two different color shirts with the same exact pose. That's a little strange, right? But you can use the same model if you scroll down here. So this says more templates with this model. So that makes it really cool because you know, it will look like a real photo shoot. So you might have this one in white, and then you would click download. So that will be one. And then you would come down here if you wanted to use the same model, click it. And instead of you having to do the work all over again, well, it's just not that much work in the first place, but instead of you having to do all the work all over again, it's already here. This is here. What I would do for this one, let me see. I think it needs a bit, yeah. So this looks, I think it looks a little bit bigger here for some reason. It might just be the placement of where it is on this mock-up. So I would just make it a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit higher, hit crop. Wait a little bit, and then I would just download it. So then I would have multiple downloads for this, and then I would take the files, which will look something like this, PNG files, and I would actually, I don't know what, let's download it and see what it is. Okay, so yeah, it's giving us PNG. There are other choices. If you go into your downloads, it will come up, it'll say ready to download. If you click here, it will take you to your drive, and it will show you all of your stuff, and you can download it in different formats if you need to. Okay, so once this comes up, it will say it's ready, and then you can click it, and it will just download it to your computer. Or you can save it for later and download all of your mockups at the same time. It's up to you. So now, let's say we wanted to put this on something else, not just a t-shirt, maybe a hoodie. Or actually, let's do something completely different, because it's not just shirts and it's not just t-shirts that you can do. You can do so many different products. So let's say we wanted to also put this on, let's see, what else would you sell? A tank top, but that's another clothing line. I want to do something different. A pop socket. Yeah, pop sockets. I think this design would be okay, even though it's a pocket. You know, I'm sure it's really meant for a clothing item, but who cares? You know, people buy weird stuff all the time. If you want to do this, we will go back to our image and drag it in here, and it will kind of adjust its size. And if it's not right, you could just shrink it or you know, expand it to whatever size you need it to be. And you could change pop socket color, do whatever you need to do. So let's see how it looks if we just leave it the way it automatically came up. And this is really cool because instead of you just using, let's say if you're only selling on merch, instead of you just using Amazon's pictures, they're automatic pictures, you can make your own, and that will help you to stand out more on social media. If a bunch of merch sellers are just taking their Amazon pictures and putting them onto Pinterest, putting them onto Instagram, how much better is it for a customer to see, a potential customer to see what it actually looks like on a person or actually looks like on their phone. And if you're selling outside of merch, then you might have tons of different products that you have available. I'm going to be doing a video soon on Printful and all the different kinds of products that you can make on Printful. You know, they have posters, they have coffee mugs. Yeah, so we can make a mug. Now, again, this particular design, it doesn't really make too much sense to do this design on a coffee mug because it looks like a pocket, and coffee mugs don't have pockets. But you know, it doesn't matter. This is just an example, and you can, I mean, hey, you never know what someone will buy. You can, because the good thing about print on demand is you don't actually have to make these products or store these products in your house. They only get made if someone buys them. So you can make some crazy stuff and see what happens. You can use the same design over and over and over again. You might have to change your file size for whatever, for wherever you're selling, whatever the requirements that they have. But that's really simple. So if you use something like PlaceIt to make your design, and then you use PlaceIt to make some mock-ups. I mean, actually, this is pretty cute. Even though this is a mug, with a pocket, so what? I think it looks good, and and it's not that difficult. And if someone buys it, someone buys it. If they don't, hey, whatever. They don't. If you want to make a Etsy shop, I'll put a link so that you can get 40 free listings. And I'm going to be making a video showing you how easy it is to make an Etsy shop soon too. So if you want to see more videos like this to learn some more tools that I use and some tips and tricks, then subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when I post anything else. Also check out our blog, passivehustles.com. This is our blog right here. Check it out. If you want to, I'll put that link in the description as well.